My name is Wayne Moore. I'm a Toronto-based artist, self-taught artist, and I'm also a professional football player for the BC Lions. It's hard to put a specific date on when I started, but I always heard from my mom or my aunt, like growing up, that I used to always draw or doodle, and they used to always praise how firm I held the pencil or the pen and would just draw lines and so forth. But then I grew up just in class or when to get focused, I would just doodle, draw little images or little things around me or draw some of my classmates. And then over time, it started to be like an outlet. I was always into sports, but then in contrast to me playing sports, whenever I have my free time to myself, I would just draw and doodle. I used to draw my favorite cartoons like Dragon Ball Z or birds. I always loved drawing birds or just some family members. Like I remember when I really tapped in or when I got a lot of good feedback from my family that it's a talent that I have is when I drew my niece. She was first born. First baby I really been around like that, so I was really drawn to her and I just decided to draw her, and that's when I could say I was enlightened that I have a talent. I just kept building on it. I had a teacher in grade 6, her name is Miss Carew, and she wasn't my teacher yet. I was actually in elementary school and they were making a mural to go to Athens, Greece for the Olympics, and they came to my elementary school, Greystone Public School, and they selected a few people who did art and asked them to come to the middle school to collaborate on a mural. And she just drew to me and she just helped me out however she could. She didn't really try and change my style or the way I did things, but I would just watch her, and she wasn't just an art teacher, she was an actual artist for herself too, and that's what made me get drawn to her. So thinking back on who inspired me, I would feel like that's the first inspiration I've had artistically. Pretty much last year, December, when my season finished and I got back home, I realized that I kept getting consistent signs toward art. I did some pieces in my free time, like whenever we didn't have games or during bye weeks, and a lot of my teammates were drawn to it and they were like, you gotta put this out there, people gotta see this. So I made a few pieces, and then just around that period of time when I made those pieces, I was getting a lot of feedback, like a lot more than I expected. And for me, it's just something I do for my personal, like an outlet, right? So when I actually put it out there and got this feedback, I'm like, okay, this is another sign that it's something I need to tap into and really, like you would say, double down on. And I did that, and I just put my pride aside and I said, you know, I've been hearing about a lot of different local artists, and there are some artists that I follow that I admire their work, and I would want to kind of get some insight on how to approach this. And I reached out to specifically this guy, Kofi Zart. Kofi's a great guy. I reached out to him, didn't know him, never spoke to him before, just sent him a DM, and I just kind of asked him. I think at the time I was asking, how would I find someone to do like a canvas print, or like how would I go about doing this? And I think he was on a run. When he responded to me, he sent me a voice note and said, hey man, what's up? Pleasure to meet you. I'll get back to you as soon as I get in. I was shocked. I was like, what? You know what I mean? So I'm greatly appreciative for that. But then we just kept talking and he was just feeding me information. And I was in so much shock because you just don't expect that really. People are usually to themselves or don't want to give you good feedback or, you know, give you key information. And he helped me out a lot, gave me confidence, and then we met in person and the vibe just grew even more. And we just kept talking ever since. And whenever I'm making some pieces now, I share it with him ahead of time before I actually put it out there, and he does the same with me. Great relationship, man. But if you don't know Kofi Zart, go check him out. Great guy. I would suggest that you do. Yeah, there's a lot of different artists in the city or in the world, regardless, but we all have our own style. Even if it seems similar, it's not the same. It's gonna be different regardless. We're all different people. We all put the brush on the canvas or the wood or whatever it is a different way. Some are right-handed, some are left-handed. We all approach it differently. So it's like, why be so timid to support another artist? If anything, if we actually come together and we share ideas, we could get better, we could grow, you know what I mean? So I don't see the point in neglecting someone else's talent when you're naturally drawn to it. And for me, it's like, I don't go down that alley. If I like your work, I'm gonna tell you. If I admire something that you're doing, I'm gonna let you know. And it's not doing me no malice, it's not doing you no malice. If I could lift you up in any way, I'm gonna do that. And hopefully, I could reciprocate the same energy, you know? So that's just my approach. I just finished a fast, 11-day fast. I've never fasted before. There's no specific reason why I chose 11 days, but that's the first number that came to me because it's beyond a week. I feel like I could have done a week easily, and I want to show that I'm more committed than just that. Like, I'm gonna step outside my comfort zone a little bit more. And I'm a man of God. I hold my faith, and I felt like that was my way to show God I'm serious. So I stepped outside my comfort zone. I fasted, but during this time, I actually finished a piece. I finished, I don't know if you can see it, but the Protege piece in the back. And I'm a huge fan of Protege. I've been listening to his music over and over and over, and I love the messages that he sends. But it just made me tap in. Like, I really tapped in. I really put in the work, and I've been saying, like, I spoke of my strength and conditioning. I wouldn't even call him strength and conditioning. That's my friend. Class is like a father figure to me. But we talk a lot, like, consistently. If it's not every day, every other day, even if it's subtle messages or words of encouragement, we communicate. And the last thing he said to me that really stuck was like, you've been putting in a lot of work. The way you committed yourself towards football and training, like, you were all in. And I love your artwork. I feel like it sends a deep message, and a lot of people need to see it. And the messages that you're sending, it's not just me or the people around you that want to see it. There's people all over the world that are attracted to these messages, and it needs to be seen. And you need to like, take it serious like you did with training and football. And you need to sacrifice. So that word just stuck with me. He said sacrifice. And I would remember, like, waking up super early, taking the bus, the train, all this stuff just to get to him. I would sleep in the gym before going to work at Costco, late nights, just all the different things just to get to where I am now. And it was worth it. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it. I'm like, why can't I do that with football? Why can't I do that with my art? And the first thing that came to me was like, sacrifice. What can I do to sacrifice right now and show God that I'm fully committed to this and I want a breakthrough? I said, I'm a fast. I've never done that before, but I'm gonna do that. And while I fast, I'm gonna really tap into my artwork. I'm gonna really try and find what I like, what's my style, and something I can consistently do and just send a message. And I feel like I kind of found it, so something coming soon.